Okay, now I want to talk about something that I get asked quite a bit, and that's, is this allowed? Is this legal? And the answer is absolutely. One, you don't do anything behind the landlord's back. So people will often ask me, did you tell the landlord you're doing this? And of course, you always are upfront with the landlord. You don't want to create any negative business relationships. It's just going to make things harder moving forward. Best case scenario, you'll get 1 year out of them, and then they're going to kill the lease, and that asset is gone forever. So it's really not worth it to do anything behind anyone's back. You always want to make sure you're upfront with the landlord about exactly what you're doing. And I'll show you how to package that in a way that sounds professional and not like, oh, hey, I want to do Airbnb. But we'll teach you exactly how to make yourself sound like a professional in this industry and get the sale on every landlord that you speak to, basically. But it's definitely not illegal there. And then in terms of, is it allowed in the town? You really can't look at a lot of these articles that you see online about whether or not it's legal because it's just some journalist writing a blog about something they heard or something they read. What we really need to do is look up the ordinance for a specific town or a specific municipality. And that's what I'm going to do right here on the screen with you in just a second. We're going to look up the term ordinance and we're going to search for a .gov, .gov website, so we know that it's coming from the actual source of the government, the one that's going to allow us to do this or not allow us to do this. And 9 times out of 10, almost in every single case that I've come across, it's not illegal anywhere. At most, they make you file for a special uses permit or a short-term rental license, but it is allowed in almost every spot. And if you look up Airbnb, people are doing this everywhere. So it's something that is definitely growing. And if it is more strict in certain areas right now, it's going to be easier in the future because that's just the way that this whole entire industry is going towards. So we're going to look right here and find, I just typed in short-term rental ordinance and a few pop up. I'm in Florida, so obviously Google knows that and is looking for exactly where I'm looking. Put myself in the bottom corner here. But let's just type in short-term rental and say Atlanta, somewhere I have never been. And boom, pops right up there, .gov. We're going to look at the .gov, and it looks like it just says to apply for a license. So we're going to read a little bit. Yeah. To apply for a license with the city and post their City of Atlanta short-term license on all advertisements. Hosts must adhere to all requirements to use the online portal to apply. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you were to just Google, is this allowed in Atlanta, and see what comes up, you might get some negative articles. So let's just check that out and see if I can back up my statement here. And see what we can find. To obtain permits, approved by city council, overwhelmingly approved zoning ordinance clarifying short-term rentals are permitted. So it seems to be pretty public knowledge for places like this. It might not always be so public. Some areas are definitely more strict than others. But moral of what I'm getting at here is when you're looking up the data, don't listen to what anyone says. Just go find the ordinance directly from the town or the city, the municipality that you're working in, and get it straight from them. This way you don't have any question marks there and you know exactly what you're getting into. Even if you have to call them, if you can't find it online anywhere, most times you can find a .gov link to a code or an article from that municipality specifically stating whether it's allowed. But if you can't, just get on the phone and call them. Business, sometimes you got to get on the phone to get what you want. So don't be afraid to get on the phone with the town and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Am I allowed to do this? If not, should I look somewhere else? You definitely want to do this somewhere where there's going to be as little resistance as possible. I wouldn't recommend going into your first one somewhere where it's a very, very, very strict area. And if you're looking up the ordinance and there's no other Airbnbs in the area and you're the only one in that area trying to do it and it's very sketchy verbiage, you can't get clear answers on the phone, maybe you just go somewhere where other people are doing it and you know it's going to work, you know other people are making it work, and work from there instead of making it more difficult for yourself. So that's basically all you need to know about whether or not it's allowed. Most of the time it is. Be transparent with the landlord. Make sure you use a .gov ordinance search when you're trying to get the answer to whether or not you can operate this.